The original Star Wars trilogy was filled with mythological motifs, often derived from Greek mythology. It is widely documented that George Lucas was immersed in the ancient myths and Joseph Campbell's Hero with 1,000 Faces, and that he was trying to tell a myth for the age, or at least retell these stories. Now, in this analysis, I'm only concerning myself with the original trilogy. In recent years, Star Wars was sold to the Walt Disney Company, and any attempt to pay homage to mythological symbols was thrown out the Disney castle windows. It can be seen, yet often not reported, that modern storytelling appears to revolve around corporate public faith values, and less around spiritually transcending campfire yarns. In this study, I will concern myself with the mythological tropes connected with piloting the Millennium Falcon, and look at why the Lando Calrissian character should have died at the end of the installment. Pilot comes from the Greek piton, meaning oar. Like an oar that steers a ship, a pilot steers or directs a plane or craft. The Greek mythological character best connected with the oar is Charon, the ferryman. He is what's known as a psychopomp, or he who pilots the dead, a doomed figure who transports souls to the underworld. He is a cursed being, one that through a life-death must conduct these missions until another offers to take his place. There is only one rule you stick to when being shepherded by the ferryman. You don't pay him until you reach the other side. In the 1977 film Star Wars, we meet the doomed figure of Han Solo, a man with a price on his head, forced to take oar on the Millennium Falcon, shepherding those in danger through treacherous skies. This pilot is on the side of good in the trilogy, but unlike Luke Skywalker or Princess Leia, he does not wear the traditional white, but is costumed in mostly black to show him as a fated character. In addition, he does not hold company with cute or submissive droids, but an element of the wild, a Wookiee called a Chewbacca. When we meet him, we know his story. He makes endless trips across the galactic river Styx for payment which he insists he wants up front. Well, that's the trick, isn't it? And it's going to cost you something extra. 10,000 in advance. But the other fated figure, ObiWan Kenobi, a man who deals with the living as much as he deals with the dead, knows all the traps of the underworld and demands, "We will pay you 2,000 now, plus 15 when we reach Alderaan." The passengers and the pilot board the ferry and observe along the hellscape that I felt a great disturbance, as if millions of voices suddenly cried out in terror and were suddenly silenced. I fear something terrible has happened. At the end of the film, Han is paid and contributes to the destruction of the Death Star, but he is still fated and continues to have the price on his head, despite his amazing deed. You see, the only way to escape the curse is to pass on the duty of ferryman. In the second installment, The Empire Strikes Back, the fated figure of Han Solo is encased in carbonite. It is said that this was a stand-in funeral for this character, in case the actor Harrison Ford did not return in the series. But this is in keeping with the story of the ferryman. Thus, another fated figure, Lando Calrissian, takes up the oar, even going as far as to adopt the piloting attire. Like his predecessor, he is successful in destroying the target, But if this film series were to continue, were to be complete, he would be cursed by the role of piloting the vessel again and again through the dark waters of the galactic river Styx. Lando is often cited as being a redeemed figure because he helped save Captain Solo, but he is not redeemed in the curse of the psychopomp. No, the only way he can escape this fate of ferrying the dark waters is to pass his duty on, or perish attempting something noble. It would have been a fitting end for him to crash the Falcon into the core of the Death Star. Not only would this have ended the curse of the Millennium Falcon, but also ended his own legacy of Space City Overlord, as he was seen as supreme ruler of Bespin, a space version of Babylon, and to go at ramming his craft into its core would have served as a catharsis, making him the penitent man. I hope you enjoyed this rundown. Stay tuned for more videos on where ancient myths and modern films cross-sect.